Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for another episode of Total Ramblings. Look, I'm very acutely conscious of the fact that I haven't done many videos lately. I've just been so busy with life and work and stuff. I just thought I'd spend a little bit of time chilling out with you guys and building some Lego. I've just come back from the hospital from visiting Liz. It's the 2nd of February 2025 and it's about 7:45 in the evening. So as I left the hospital, it was a beautiful crescent moon in the sky with a little bit of earth shine as the sunlight hit the earth and bounced off and was just very slightly illuminating the unlit portion of the moon. And I thought, that'll make a nice set of photos. And of course, as I got home, I got out of the car and I looked up to see a huge bank of cloud covering the moon. So no photos tonight. Anyway, today we're building a Lego City set. Now this is set 60452, Doughnut Truck. I thought this might be fun to build. Pretty certain. I'm just checking the blurb on the bottom. Yes, this is one that's come out. This is a January release. So anyway, there is the bottom of the box for you. There is the top of the box for you. There'll be no time lapse today. I'm just going to build this while I'm chatting. Sides of boxes on the Lego sets are a bit boring actually, but yeah, this one, you see, it's like the hamburger set, which I haven't built yet, although I've got it here at the vault, at the bunker, sorry, not at the vault. I've got it from the vault. You can take the back off and kind of have it as like a standalone sort of building, which is cool. So without further ado, let us open and see what we've got. So, as you can see, the box is in fact empty. Just 2 bags. A piece that I don't think I've ever seen before. I'm not saying it's a brand new piece. I'm just saying I haven't seen one before. It's got cross Technic pin holes there. 2 instruction manuals, one for the base of the truck, one for the donut thingy itself. Yeah. Let's open it, shall we? Now this is a 5+ set. So I'm hoping, and also because I haven't seen them yet, I'm hoping it means we haven't got to tolerate stickers. Always check that your bags are empty, boys and girls, before you throw them away. Even the little bags are paper. Yay, we're finally getting to a full paper situation, everybody. I have to say, all the Animal Crossing sets I've built lately, they've all had plastic bags. There we go, look, no stickers. Brilliant. And even sets that do have plastic bags these days seem to, paper bags, sorry, seem to have internal plastic bags, which is a bit of a bummer, if I'm honest with you. Anyway, there we go. I've had quite a productive weekend. I started off with like 11 things on my to-do list and I've done them all, apart from one, which is putting some more air in one of the tyres of my car. For some time now, it's had basically what I can only describe as a slow puncture. It's the driver's side front tyre and it's constantly going down. There's our first minifigure, our donut vendor with a very nice cap. I don't know if that cap originated in maybe one of the collectible minifig series. He's got back printing. He's got front printing with a sort of, kind of like a sort of, what's the word for it? Icing kind of dripping down the front and back. That's quite good. Sort of reflective of that. Yeah. Okay. So, there we go. Now then, I like these kind of simplistic instructions. They're obviously for children, but the fact that they clearly show you which pieces to get out, I like that. Obviously not suitable for set designed for older people. There we go. Right, so now we need a red piece here and a blue piece on top. Is that the right colour blue? I mean, it's the only colour blue, so it has to be, but that looks like a darker blue in this printed instruction, which I always find a bit disconcerting. I could, of course, have chosen to do the online instructions, but I don't like doing that. Mainly because normally when I'm building, I am also watching something on my iPad. So that's generally why I don't do that, because the screen is being used for something else. Right. I had some strange dreams last night, and one of the I won't say it's a recurring dream per se. It's like a recurring aspect of a dream. And in this dream, and it, like I say, it's an aspect of a dream. It's not the entire focus of the dream. But in this dream, I have two ostensibly identical cars. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that they are, I don't know, Ford Focuses or something. And they look identical, apart from the fact that one is black and one is blue. Now, this is interesting because I have owned black and blue Ford Foci, the plural of Focus. Focuses, I don't know. And, but here's the interesting thing, is in the dream, it's like a lot of effort goes into the dream. And as I say, it's always part of a main, of another main narrative. In this dream, there's always a bit of tension that I've got in keeping the cars in the same place. What I mean is, they tend to be like, I'll have a home in my dream, and the cars tend to be not at the home, and somehow I've got to get them both home, and I'm the only driver. Also, oh, well, there it goes, ladies and gentlemen, traditional year. We have had a piece disappear onto the floor. Now, this happens a lot. And what's happened is it's down here somewhere. It bounced off. Oh no, there it is there. I found it. It was actually under here. This happens a lot in this room, and I don't know why. Anyway, right, the point is, in this dream, that little noise was an air freshener, if you heard that. In this dream, let me get this the right way around. The black car is more advanced in terms of its internal technology, and this is important from a dream perspective. The black car is more advanced than the blue car, and thus it would normally be my preference to drive the black car. However, in the dream, and as I say, this is important. However, in the dream, the blue car is newer. So the black car has advantages because it is black and it has more advanced creature comforts on board. But the blue car is a newer car. And thus in the dream, there is this constant tension. Do I drive the black car or do I drive the blue car as my preferred car of choice? And I've got no idea what this means in terms of my dream. And if anybody's got any idea, I'd love to hear from you. So as I say, part of the tension in the dream is deciding which is going to be my preferred method of transport. And part of the tension in the dream is getting the cars, both of them, back home where they can then be used to drive around, whichever one I then choose. And like I say, this is never the main focus of the dream. It's always something else that is going on in the dream. And this just happens to be like a side story, if you like. The B plot, if you like. And I got no idea what this is all about because I can't actually remember the main aspects of the dream itself. The only reason I remember this black and blue car thing is because it happened last night. And and it stuck in my mind because it's finally occurred to me that this is an aspect of my dreams that has come up more than once before. And this is why it's sticking with me, because what's going on? What's all this? Excuse me, I've just knocked the camera over. Traditional year. What's all this? What's all this indecision about? You know? It's odd. There's obviously something getting to me, I should say, and I've got no idea what it is. Just thought I'd mention that. Anyway, about my weekend. So, Friday was the 31st of January 2025, and I have to say, I really hate Januaries. And I'll tell you why I hate Januaries. I normally get paid by my employer on the last working day of the month. However, for December, like many other companies, might be all of them, I don't know, I tend to get paid a little bit ahead of time. And I get paid on the 18th of December, which means that I've got to go through the whole of the rest of December and the whole of January, which is a 31-day month, as I'm sure you'll be aware, without being paid. And also, of course, December, of course, being a particularly expensive time of year. And I've just knocked something else over the side there. Traditional year. Two pieces, in fact. It's amazing how gravity changes when you're building Lego. Absolutely amazing that basically stuff that would normally remain static, from the very slightest impulse, will fly up into the air and lodge itself in a totally inaccessible area that it could not possibly have gotten into. It's I'm going to write a thesis on this if I knew how to write one. I should employ some scientists. Anyway, what was I saying? The point being that obviously December, very expensive time of year because it's Christmas and all that. And, you know, then of course, even if you get like, say, vouchers or money for Christmas, you go and spend it. And of course, you never have quite enough because, as usual, my eyes are too big for my wallet and blah, blah, blah. You always have to spend more money, not let alone on the things that you buy other people, your loved ones and friends, etc. So yeah, So anyway, Friday was finally payday. I was finally able to get some shopping in. I was finally able to do a whole load of stuff, actually. Put some petrol back in the car. You know, all the usual stuff. It's just such a relief. It's like last weekend, I thought Liz was upset with me because I'd, you know, bought some stuff she didn't like. It happens quite a lot. And I basically, I wasted last weekend. I basically hid in bed for most of it, if I'm honest with you. Because also, you know, when you've got no cash, you can't go anywhere. It's a miserable frickin' time of year anyway. January's just not pleasant at all. The dark comes in. You've got dark nights. You've got short days. You've got no money. It's cold. It's miserable. It's snowy. It's rainy. It's wet. It's horrible. It's just, you know, Januaries are just rubbish, absolutely rubbish. Which is why I like to kind of try and take like the first week of January off. So, for example, a lot of people obviously take Christmas and New Year and that kind of thing off, and I try and do the same thing, because also Anthony's birthday, my son, is on the his birthday is the 29th of December, so that's an extra expense as well. That's interesting. They've not done tyres and wheels. They've just one solid bit. I think these are from the speed races kind of design. Anyway, so yeah, so basically I just spent the whole of last weekend just hiding away. And what was I going to say? This weekend, however, I was unleashed, shall we say, and I have finally been able to complete something that I have been building up now for the last few months, and I will show it to you. My Roman army. My Playmobil Roman army, to be specific. Yes, I have constructed an army, a Roman army of Playmobil figures. Now look, I've obviously missed something here because I've got this piece. What was I saying earlier about this being really... Yeah, I know exactly where that's meant to be. It's because I'm blathering and not really paying attention. That bit goes in there. That bit goes up there. And that bit goes there. And there we go, ladies and gel spoons. That is our ice cream transport truck element completed with some very nice alloy, sort of silvery wheels. There you go. So yeah, so Friday was like amazing, and Saturday was like amazing. Now there is a slight downside now, not because of Friday and Saturday. We're opening bag 2 now. And the slight downside is that I'm being asked by my work colleagues, bosses, etc., to go to London twice a week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And I do get expenses for going in, I'll be honest. It's not coming out of my pocket, but it takes a little while for those expenses to go through the system, meaning I am temporarily out of pocket. And it can be quite expensive. If I get a peak time train from Basingstoke to London, that's £52 for a return, £52.20 for a return ticket. If I go off-peak, and off-peak is described as any train which gets in to London after 10 a.m. An off-peak ticket is £32, but even so, parking then, I have to park at Festival Place car park. Parking is usually like £17 for the day. So I have and also of course Tuesdays is one of the days I go and visit my wife Liz in hospital. So good old Lego money here. So I've asked, look, either can I take like an off-peak train and get in a little bit later and save a bit of money to help my cash flow, and or can I leave early on Tuesdays to visit Liz? There is our customer, and rather amusingly, it's a police officer. She's got a police badge there. She's got a police badge on the back. So we've got a little bit of back printing. 3 different colours there, I think. 4, actually no, 4. We've got black for the outline, dark grey, light blue, oh, another black. There is 3 colours. And at the front here, we've got a little bit of silver here for her name badge as well. Anyway, of course, it's a donut shop. Cops. The traditional cliche is that cops spend their time eating donuts. I don't know if that's true, but, you know, obviously Lego are leaning into that. Yeah, anyway, so I've asked if, like, can I either take in a later train, save a bit of money, help my cash flow, or could I leave a little bit earlier on Tuesday, sorry, so that I can go and visit Liz. I haven't had a reply yet, and they might say no. So there's that. Now, I have been taking a few 360 photos in and around London over the last couple of weeks, but I haven't posted them because I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit worried that you guys watching this vlog are going to get bored of me just posting pictures of the same parts of London all the time. Tell me if that's true. If it's not true, then I'll just do it anyway. But there's only so much you can say about the same parts of the city that you go and visit, right? So, yeah, so that's one of the reasons I've been going to London quite a bit recently. That's one of the reasons I haven't been posting videos, is because usually I come home and I'm knackered. Also, the weather hasn't been conducive to me getting any decent moon pictures. So I haven't been able to do that either. And obviously this time of year, it's just really, really depressing. Incredibly depressing. I normally like the winter, but not this part of the winter, when nobody's got any money and everyone's miserable and in a bad mood after Christmas. It's just a fact of life. There's nothing really we can do about it. It's just a fact of life. Let's put this up here. So I'm kind of doing this video to show that I'm still alive, keep up with the Lego moniker for my, for this vlog, and also just to kind of wind down a little bit. Right then, I think what we've got coming up now is possibly an ice cream dispensing device involving some very small pieces. That goes in there, that goes in there, and there we go. Look, you see, it's like a squirty nozzle type thing happening, I think. Yep, and that goes in there. So look, we've got like it pointing into a cup. So you can have a cup of ice cream. And then that goes on the floor. Traditional year. Everything likes to go on the floor, including the Lego that I've literally just built. So excuse me while I just attempt to recover the Lego that I've literally just built, that isn't even 5 minutes old, that has already decided to try and plunge to its apparent death on the floor. And again, it's like it's weird, right? What happens with gravity when you're building Lego? Stuff just gets sucked onto the floor. I don't know what's going on. Is there? Again trying to put that piece back on. It's on the floor again. We're finished. Right, I'm just going to hide that there so that, it makes it more difficult for it to throw itself onto the floor. It's just kind of, it's weird, right? You build Lego and stuff just starts flying everywhere. Absolutely astonishing. I mean, this is a weird house anyway, right? Because the amount of times I've literally almost seen stuff disappear in front of my eyes. I am going to make an absolute fortune one day out of this because of the strange, like, vortexes and sort of anomalies and things that kind of open up in my house, seemingly just to annoy me. Now you see, this is where someone's going to say, "Oh, Andrew, you're being super paranoid. Not everything is designed to annoy you." I beg to differ. In fact, I beg to differ completely, because it happens so often and all the time that it can only be deliberate. And I would just like to be left alone, if that's okay with everybody. Right, now then, these, and I'm only telling you, I'm only able to tell this by the process of identification. These little studs I'm putting on are yellow. Very, very hard to see that in this printed manual. Really hard to see. 1, 2, 3, so that goes there, and then we've got a little payment. It looks like a chip and pin or contactless payment thingy just there. Right, now we are making things that hold donuts. We are actually now adding donuts. A couple of little selections of Doughnut donut. Right, okay, now that goes on there at a nice jaunty angle. And then this piece goes here at a nice jaunty angle. Also, you see, by recording this video in this way, I can evidence that things disappear randomly and apparently go into places that they can't possibly have. So this is how I can prove to the world that I'm not being paranoid, and in fact the world actually is out to annoy the hell out of me. It's a fact of life, ladies and gentlemen. It cannot be disputed. It's like, here's another thing, right? Going back to the expenses thing, right? Liz was meant to come home before Christmas from hospital after a year, and she did, for a day. And I was quite looking forward, actually, to not having to spend so much money on petrol and obviously all that time in visiting her. Yes, it's going to be incredibly difficult. Excuse me while I lift this up. It's going to be incredibly difficult to look after her, but at least we're in one place. But of course, that was not permitted to be. And the very next day, I had to take her back to hospital for what I thought would only be a day overnight, because she had a doctor's appointment. But of course, it's now ended up being over another month. And this is, you know, all contributing to the expense. I could probably save a couple of £100 a month on petrol expenses alone if Liz was home. Not to mention also that I buy food at the hospital. On Sundays I was usually having something to eat, although now I am going to my mother-in-law's, Liz's mum's house, every Sunday for dinner. But even that's not a permanent situation, because she's going on holiday soon and she's got other things lined up, and she's not just there to feed me, right? So these are all expenses, because Liz's hospital is in Hazelmere, which is, as I say, about an hour's drive from the bunker. And I'm doing that trip 3 days a week. And obviously I'm putting the miles on my car, and I'm needing to fill up with petrol quite regularly. Whereas if Liz was at home, we wouldn't have to fill up with petrol, probably ever, because we're not going anywhere. So there you go. That bit's complete. Now we're building the top section, where we've got a giant donut that I believe is dripping icing onto the roof of the van. I don't know whether I'm doing this properly on camera or not. What I'd like to do one day would be to do a live stream, but I don't think anyone would watch it. I think it would be just me talking to myself, much like I am now. But I think it would be an interesting experiment if I could work out exactly how to do it using this camera or one of my other cameras, or, you know, I've got lots of different cameras. Also tonight, I was of course hoping to simultaneously be doing some moon pictures, and I'm not going to give up. I will go and look in a minute, maybe once I've uploaded this video, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, that is the donut built. See, that literally just flew itself across the room, across the tray here, and I barely touched it. It's amazing. Right, okay. Now, what I'm liking here is that it looks like, yes, so that's the back of the donut, right? So we're not just putting up with Lego saying, hey guys, here's the front of the donut and that's all you're getting. They have actually gone to the trouble of making this a fully rounded, no pun intended, donut with detail on back and front. And as we approach the end of this build, I would like to thank you very much for watching this, if you have watched it. If you haven't watched it, I'd like to thank you anyway. If you like this kind of rambling format, please let me know. I can't promise to do this on any of the larger sets. I've still got a ton of Star Wars sets left to build, but I have kind of made a commitment to my wife not to build those until I've paid off her credit card. Again, going back to money. There's a big theme here, isn't there, to this whole episode. Oh, you see, and that barely touched it, fell straight off. How annoying. There we go. Right, so there is our donut. I imagine that spins and whistles like a bugger during the wind, with the wind as this thing gets dragged along on the back of the truck. Anyway, you can put that down as a standalone kiosk, or you can stick it on the back of the van here. I think that looks cool. There's a slushy maker, which I've got, which kind of goes along with this. I think there's an ice cream van, which goes along with this. And I've got the burger van. And when I bought this set here, I got the burger van back from the vault because I haven't made it yet. So I might well feature the burger van in another one of these types of build along videos, or maybe we'll have a little parade of all the sort of food type vehicles. If you'd like to stand up, please, that would be lovely. Okay, there, ladles and jelly spoons, are all the spare pieces, and here is the set, looking quite nice. There's a window there. Put that roof on properly, and of course a serving hatch with a little awning here, and a door at the back with a little step for our serving guy to get into, plus opening doors on the actual van itself with a spinning donut on the top. Let me just take that off, and we're going to put the guy serving inside. He fits in there nicely. There we are. And there's our female police officer queuing on a queue of her own to get a donut. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry my output's been so minimal lately, but I've just got so much other stuff going on. Yes, back to the Playmobil Roman Army. I will be showing it off at some point. It is now complete. I've had to make sure that each of the sections in my army has got a leader, and I've also now got fortification and all sorts of other stuff. So I will be showing it off at some point. In the meantime, I'd like to thank you very much for joining me for this episode of Total Ramblings. If you've enjoyed this episode, or even if you haven't, please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, do all the usual YouTubey stuff. And I hope very much to see you in another episode. Bye bye.